Y así arranca un nuevo, es esto la fábrica del día de la fecha, esta sección en donde pensamos, repensamos, redefinimos todo lo que tiene que ver con la industria de la música, una industria de la música que hace un puñadito de años nada más precisaba de aviones, de barcos, de container para distribuir de un lado al otro del planeta Tierra todo lo referido a la música y así nos llegaban las cosas. Todo eso ha cambiado en los últimos puñaditos de años nada más, en una década, algo así. Y para hablar de todos estos cambios es que nos nutrimos de diferentes diálogos. Hemos hablado con productores musicales, con sonidistas, con realizadores de festivales y todas esas cosas, y hemos hablado con músicos, muchos músicos, como el caso del día de la fecha, donde nos vamos para los Estados Unidos para hablar con los amigos de Rainbow City Park que ya están conectados con nosotros. Hi my friend, I'm Manu, here is Raulo. Are you listening me good?
Hello.
Yeah, check sound. This is great. Okay, this is going. Now I'm going to leave you with Raulo, with my friend. He's in Barcelona. I'm in Argentina. He's gonna make you a few weird questions. The exact question we make all bands from all the world, and later we're gonna talk about the presence of the band. But para. Tuki. Here is Chris.
Chris is here.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hi, my friend. We are live. I'm Manu. There is Raulo. We are started with the interview, my friend.
Nice. Right on.
Perfecto. Llegó justo.
Sí, perfecto.
Mándate, Raúl.
Sí. We are live. We are going to start with the interview. So please tell us your full name, where are you from, and how old are you?
Yeah, my name is Chris O'Keefe. I'm from Davis, California. I'm 37-ish.
I'm Danny. I'm from Sacramento, California. I'm 25.
Ok, estamos hablando con la gente de Rainbow City Park. Estamos hablando con Chris, que tiene 37 años, y Danny, que es son los dos de California y tiene 25 años. And can you tell us which is your first memory of you listening to music?
Oh gosh. My first memory listening to music is probably my parents. We have a boat up at a place called Shasta Lake. And so my first memories of music are the songs that used to play on the back deck of that boat.
Only singing or with guitar?
Just listening, actually. But my first playing of music was in the 6th grade. I played the clarinet.
Excellent.
Wow,
Excellent.
That's difficult.
Honestly, it wasn't too bad. Not too bad. It didn't get too hard until the 7th grade.
Okay.
That's when I quit the clarinet.
Perfecto. Bueno, nos estaba contando Dani que su primer instrumento, bueno, fue el clarinete, que lo tocó hasta 6º grado más o menos, y Manu le dijo es difícil, y en el 7º grado lo dejó, y su primer recuerdo escuchando música es en la parte de atrás de un bote. Ellos tenían un bote y bueno, eran las canciones que había de fondo en el bote. For you, Chris.
Yeah, I remember growing up, my dad had like a bunch of CDs. And I remember listening to like a bunch of like classic rock and like Motown and like a bunch of oldies back in the day. I was always just kind of going through his collection and putting on random CDs and checking it out and discovering new music.
And your first instrument and the first song that you learned?
My first instrument was guitar.
Okay.
And I was a really big Blink-182 fan when I first started out.
Blink?
Yeah, so it's probably a Blink-182 song.
Excelente. Bueno, y es fanático de Blink 182, y su primer instrumento fue la guitarra. Estábamos hablando con Chris y su primer recuerdo es del padre, que tenía una colección muy grande de CDs y agarraba cualquier cosa ahí para escuchar. And when you were in school, which kind of people do you meet? Punk people, rock and roll people, which kind of people do you meet?
I was a big floater in school, so I was really invested into bands. So I had a lot of friends from bands, but I also did like student leadership. So I floated in that group as well.
And which kind of bands, type of bands? Rock?
I did all of the schooling. So I did all classical music up until I met Chris, actually.
Wow.
So it was all like symphonic bands and orchestras. And I didn't start playing in rock bands until I met Chris. I was like 22.
Classical music in California?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. See, I'm a big fan of Metallica, you know, and they play with some classical people from California. They are incredible, but they are not really classic music, like classic musician, like serious and that kind of things, not?
I would have to say that in the United States, they pretty much exclusively study Westernized music. So it wasn't until I got to college that I had the opportunity to start learning like world music.
Oh, cool.
And so I would say like they focused on a lot of like Bach and Beethoven and music that was equivalent off of like that. But yeah, not until college that I got to explore more world music.
Wow, incredible. And for you, Chris?
Yeah, growing up, I hung out with a lot of like punk and alternative kids. Yeah.
But for us, I'm from Argentina. Blink 182 is alternative or is more punk?
I would say it's like pop punk.
Pop punk. Okay. And we met some people from California, from punk bands. And do you have like a really close meeting with punk and Disney music, or is not real that?
What do you mean?
See, for example, you know, Californian punk is more like pop kind of punk. That is because Disney music or not?
I don't know. What do you think, Danny?
I think California has a lot of, there's a lot of pop elements within punk, but we do have a really great punk scene that has flourished all throughout like the late 80s into the 90s too. So I'd say that a lot of those bands were born from that era, but they definitely took a more popular approach to it.
Perfecto. Sí, Manu les estaba preguntando porque te acuerdas que hubo un montón de bandas de punk de California que entrevistamos que dice que hay una brecha de pop punk que es medio Disney. Entonces le estaba preguntando si realmente eso era verdad y dicen que sí, pero lo que pasa es que la mayoría de las bandas de verdad de punk tienen como una cosa más de los 80 también. O sea, y está esa mezcla y después más en los 90, súper interesante lo que nos está contando. Ya se fueron más a la cosa punk pop, que es de donde viene Chris, que aparte dice que en su juventud estaba con gente alternativa y nos sorprendió Denny que viene de un concepto de música clásica, así que nos mató con eso, fue terrible, sí.
¿Vamos con la banda?
Sí, perfecto, sí. Only one more personal questions. Your first concert that you went.
My first concert was a band called Rascal Flatts.
Sí,
they sing this song that goes, "Life is a highway." And they're a country band. I saw them when I think I was 9 or 10 years old, and there was a woman that opened for them named Sarah Evans, and it was so cool to see an artist up there with long brown hair singing country music. I was like, wait a minute, I have long brown hair, I could sing music.
Excelente, sí. I need to change your mind. Sí, muy bueno, sí. Your first concert, Chris.
Me cagaste. Yeah, it was when I was in 6th grade, and my good friend had an extra ticket to go to the Blink-182 and No Doubt concert in Wheatland at the amphitheater. And that was pretty revolutionary for me. I was like, oh shoot, I want to play music.
No Doubt was really big, no, in California?
Yeah, for sure.
Increíble, sí. Bueno, nos estaba contando su primer concierto fue para Danny, fue a los 9, 10 años más o menos viendo a Rascal Flatts, o sea, venía de un mundo de música clásica y después apareció Rascal Flatts en su vida y ahí fue cuando dijo, bueno, yo puedo cantar. Y para Chris, bueno, fue un concierto de Blink 182 con No Doubt, así que terrible show el que pudieron ir a ver. And can you tell us how did Rainbow City Park begin and why you put that name?
Yeah, Rainbow City Parks was my creation. It started about 3.5 years ago, and I was wrapping up school, and I decided I wanted to get back into music. I had taken a break from music for about 4 or 5 years while I was kind of focusing on school and my career and whatnot. And I just started reaching out to folks. I moved back to Sacramento and met a bunch of folks online through like social media. and Craigslist and various other sources, and jammed with a bunch of people, probably jammed with 50 or so people, and ended up meeting this group of musicians. And Rainbow City Park is it's actually a park in our hometown, Davis, so that's what it's named after.
Ok, bueno, nos estaba contando Chris que el proyecto de Rainbow City Park fue un proyecto que él empezó después de tener 4 o 5 años fuera de la música porque se estaba enfocando en el colegio, y bueno, arrancó buscando gente online por redes sociales y todo ese tipo de cosas. Se encontró con un montón de gente hasta que formó el grupo, y Rainbow City Park es un parque de donde ellos son originarios, así que es simple la respuesta. And can you tell us, in April of 2022 you released your first single, Run. How was the recording process of that first single?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, our first single was Run, wasn't it? That song, it's funny that you say that because that song is like not available everywhere. That's only available on Bandcamp. And we recorded that song. I mean, I recorded that song with the Rainbow City Park maybe like 4 weeks after I joined it. The recording time was kind of either already booked or just got booked when I joined in the band. It was my first time ever recording anything ever, being in a recording studio in that way and recording guitar. At the time I was not the lead singer, so I was recording harmonies, and it was so much fun. We have one more band member, or we have more than one, but we have another band member named Nick, and he had been in the band for maybe like 6 or 7 days before he recorded that. So we were so fresh for each other, but it was so fun.
And how do you feel when you listen to your voice recorded?
That one, at this point in time, it feels very nostalgic because that was the very first thing that we did. And it isn't like, it's not the same thing that we're doing now. I would say that we've really gone a different direction and, you know, turned up the distortion on the guitars quite a bit. And so I think in that way it sounds very different. Sounds like a different band in a way.
Perfecto. Bueno, le estaba preguntando por su primer single, que fue Run. Lo que nos dice que ya no es algo que se encuentre en todas las plataformas, está solamente en Bandcamp, y eran todos muy nuevos, o sea, recién se habían conocido. Ella hacía muy poquito que había entrado a la banda, no era la cantante principal, y fue la primera vez que entró en el estudio, y dice que se siente nostálgica cuando escucha eso, que pasó hace mucho tiempo, y fue la primera vez que entró a un estudio. In February of this year you released your last EP, Fruitless. So you changed many things in the recording process?
Oh yeah. Well, we'll say the preparation took a lot more time. Definitely before going in. And then the recording process itself was also lengthier. So we recorded that over the course of, I think it was a week head down in the studio, but then after that it was about a month and a half of adding things onto it before we even sent it off to get mixed.
Yeah, and that was a case where we actually went to like a studio, like a remote studio, and spent like the entire week recording, not doing anything else, just, you know, recording all the instruments. And yeah, it was really special.
We had a beautiful view of the beach the entire week.
Wow, beautiful place to record an album. And why you put Fruitless, the name?
It's called Fruitless because of the track Fruitless that's on the EP. And, you know, we went back and forth for so long about deciding what the name of the EP was going to be. But I think the song speaks for itself. And so we titled it Fruitless.
Perfecto. Manu, ¿alguna pregunta sobre la parte técnica? El audio...
Sorry for... más que nada la afinación y esas cositas que a mí me gustan preguntarle al amigo Chris.
Sí. Manu is a guitar player and he wants to know about the tuning of the guitars and that kind of things. Can you tell us the sound, the audio of the band? How do you make it?
Yeah, I, for better or for worse, I play around with a lot of different tunings. It's really cool because it allows me to be creative and like gets me out of the box a lot of times where I'm not like thinking of like certain scales that I learned, you know, and it's just like, oh, that sounds cool. And I'm not like thinking about like the music behind it. I'm just playing what sounds cool. And so it makes me more creative, but it's also a little frustrating because then when we play live shows, I have to bring a bunch of extra guitars with me because all the songs are in different tunes. But yeah.
See, Manu realized that, but in just like this, in a click, because and when you approach to the sound, you know, you went to the studio with a lot of guitars, or you just search for the sound.
Yeah,
we went in with a lot.
Yeah, we had like 2 full racks of guitars to choose from, and when we were recording, like even for like specific parts within one song, we'd kind of switch back and forth and be like, oh, the verse should use this and the chorus should use this guitar. So yeah, it's a lot of back and forth.
Uf. Manu, ¿querés saber los pedales?
No. I think about because here in Argentina it's a thing, but we thought that in the US and that's kind of places, maybe the Gibson robot is going to be a super technology advance, and no one used that kind of guitar. That maybe you find a guitar has tune automatic, and you know, in one guitar you have the tal tune, this tune. Mm-hmm. But that kind of guitar never worked. The people don't buy a Gibson robot. So when you saw that, I thought about that, and that was a very bad decision from Gibson, the robot. But maybe for you works.
Yeah, maybe I gotta try that out.
Excelente. Which kind of guitars do you have?
I play on a Gibson Explorer and a Fender Telecaster.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
And you, Chris?
I have a couple Telecasters and a Jazzmaster, and I just got a Firebird.
Sí, están equipados. Sí. And do you have many pedals?
Yeah. Yeah, we call them our spaceships.
Spaceships. Which kinds of pedals do you use?
Go for it, Chris.
I have the JHS preamp, and that's kind of like my always on. That I use that to like shape my tone a lot, and like boost the pedals after. And then my main overdrive is the OCD overdrive. And then I have like an EQ pedal, like my solo, use that to solo. And then I have a bunch of modulation pedals like chorus and reverb and delay and all that fun stuff.
What's your favorite pedal, Chris?
Ooh.
Thanks for the question.
Yeah. Woo. That's a hard question. I don't know if I have...
You have the Strymon on your board, right?
Yeah.
Not that one.
I've had a pedal for like 20 years on my board that's never come off, which is the Boss DD6. It's a digital delay pedal, and yeah, I've used that pedal in every single project I've ever been in. Perfect. So maybe that.
It's a great choice.
Sí. Vintage, total. Mira.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful. Sí. Manu is a guitar player, a fan of the pedals and that kind of things. It's incredible. And what things inspires you to write music, the lyrics and that kind of things?
I think a lot of our songs start with Chris's lead. So, Chris comes in to the room with a riff, and usually we start building around that. So I'd say that Chris is a great informer of where the song is going to go.
Mm-hmm. And for the lyrics?
And then I write the lyrics.
Sí.
And this is my cat.
Okay. and what do you write? Which things do you write? You have to say that.
I write a lot from personal experience, but I tend to write a lot about just being in your 20s. So it started with what it was like to be out on your own and feeling a little bit existential about that. And it's kind of turned into more of self-reflection and how to navigate becoming a good person or being a better version of yourself. And so those are the main things that I've been writing about as of late.
Do you like Fiona Apple?
I love Fiona Apple.
She's incredible. She's incredible. Why do you think that now the people is listening a lot to music of from the 19s? Why do you think that?
Can you say that one more time?
Why do you think that people now is listening to 19s music?
Why do people listen to the music from the 90s? Because it's really good. But also I think that the decades kind of represent a lot of like what's happening in the world, right? So right now, a lot of the music that's coming out, I would call like the blues music, right? It's kind of a reflection of, I don't know, a lot of like the wars that are happening. Whereas in the 90s, I feel like it was a liberation period for a lot of people that felt like they could express themselves. And so I think the music from the 90s kind of showcased more of that, and it's a lot easier to kind of get your head into that decade than it is to, I guess, absorb the music from now.
Perfecto, sí, muy bueno. Bueno, nos estaban contando un poco sobre los pedales que estaban usando, cómo es toda la parte técnica de la banda. Dice que utilizan un montón de afinaciones, un montón de pedales, y aparte nos estaba contando Denny un poco de por qué, de qué se trataban las letras, y dice, bueno, de vivir en los 90, los 20 y toda la parte existencialista de irse a vivir solo, y lo que nos estaba contando que para ellos, o sea, volver a escuchar música de los 90 es porque en los 90, que es algo que fue una pregunta personal, Manu, más que nada, que en los 90 un montón de gente tuvo voz por primera vez, o sea, y que un montón de las cosas que se hablaban en los 90, que esas voces nuevas surgían, son las cosas que también está pasando ahora, también. ¿Sí? ¿Tenés alguna pregunta, Manu?
No, la de la IA me gustaría hablar con ellos, a ver qué piensan.
Sí. Manu wants to know, do you use artificial intelligence, AI?
Oh, no. Well, no. I don't think we've used that in our songwriting process at all. Yeah, we've not.
The cat there is perfect. El gato ahí es perfecto.
She really wants to be in it, I'll tell you what.
Muy bueno. And Chris, do you use artificial intelligence?
I use it a lot for work. For work, I do like coding and like R script and stuff, and so I use it for that because it's like nice just starting from scratch or not having to start from scratch. I'll occasionally use it for designing like flyers and stuff, and like getting a starting point for flyers and then kind of getting that as a starting point and then building off of that. Yeah.
Perfecto. Sí, bueno, nos estamos contando que para si utilizan la inteligencia artificial o no. Bueno, Denny dice que no, para nada, para escribir, para nada, para componer canciones no. Pero Chris nos estaba diciendo que para su trabajo sí, y hay muchas veces que lo utiliza como un comienzo, y a partir de ahí, bueno, después va construyendo cosas. Manu lo utiliza para los flyers también, así que perfecto. ¿Alguna otra pregunta? Voy con 3 más, ¿te parece? Y cerramos. Sí. Three more questions. Can you tell us something about the actual music scene in California?
The music scene in California is superb. It's amazing. I mean, you have your regional markets because California is so big. So Sacramento has its own music scene. San Francisco has its own music scene. LA has its a vast music scene. So it's really cool to be able to stay within your state, but travel to these musical cities and have a chance to play with, I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of bands that would be great bands for us to be playing with. So California feels like a hub of music, and it's a great spot to be.
Do you have many Latin people making music?
This is true, we do.
Perfect. Which kind of music? Salsa, reggaeton, that kind of things?
A lot of cumbia.
Cumbia? Really?
Vamos.
Beautiful what you're saying. Is incredible. Thanks for that. Sí, muy bueno. Sí. The second question, can you tell us something about the future plans of the band of Rainbow City Park?
We're working on new music. We've got a lot of songs that we've got in the queue that we're trying to get finished and get recorded. So hopefully we can get that going. We've got some more shows until the end of the year. So we love to expand out. We just did the big West Coast tour. So we're going to hit some of those markets again and play a lot in Los Angeles. And we're going to be playing with our friends this time around and go on tour with some of our buddies. It's going to be fun.
Wow. Can you tell us the name of the band that you are going to tour with?
Blood Sugar is the name of the band. They're from Chico, California.
Perfect, Blood Sugar, then we are going to check it. Bueno, lo que nos estaba contando, hermano, que hay mucha cumbia en California, increíble, y que el futuro de la banda va a ser tocar muchísimo. Tienen una gira por la costa oeste de todo Estados Unidos. Van a tocar con una banda que se llama Blood Sugar, y bueno, tienen muchas canciones para hacer. Thanks for your time. It's incredible to speak with you. See, we're really glad to meet you. And just to finish the interview, we are going to play Broken Records, the song. Can you tell us something about that song?
Broken Record was written a couple of years before I joined Rainbow City Park, and it started as a very sad jazz ballad. But one day, Chris had a grand idea to bump up the tempo and to change it up, and it turned into the song that it is today.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate to speak with you, and we are going to send you the interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So great to meet you guys.
Thank you, Chris. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye. Take care.
Having us.
broken record, and I know better than to do this to myself again. Yet here we are, and I'm not worried, 'cause soon I know I'll be alone again. Why do I put myself through all of this story?